Welcome to another episode of I Thought We Want to Change, where we have real conversations with real people who speak the unapologetic truth. I am your host, Sister King Vade. Joining me on the panel today is my lovely co host, along with Dr. William, King of Gospel Soul. And I'll allow everybody else to introduce themselves.
I'm a sorry.
Okay.
J Black the God, aka Malik A Black. Peace.
Okay. So today's topic is healing the generational gap as it relates to the elders in our community. Are they overlooking critical issues, or are they causing chaos or contributing to the chaos behind the scenes? So let's get into it. Okay. So when we talk about healing the generational gap, we're really talking about accountability here. You know, that word comes up a lot when it comes to this podcast. So not just for the younger generation in particular, but for the elders as well, because somewhere along the way, wisdom and silence starts to look the same. So the first question to sit with: are the elders protecting wisdom or protecting dysfunction? We're taught to honor our elders, and rightfully so. You know, they paved the way. But does honor mean we don't question?
Mm.
And what point does respect turn into silence? And is silence helping us or is it hurting us?
Um, I wish you asked
So,
one at a time. Okay, which one we answer first?
Start with one, doctor. Start with one of
Let's
them.
go down to that. Okay, give us the first. Okay, what's the first question?
basically, that was what was on my mind. And it was, that was just my introduction to what was on my mind. So,
Oh,
okay, I will say this. Do you feel the elders in the community, and I'm not only talking about the community as the outside world, I'm speaking about the community as in our as black people, the family dynamic, the community, you know, our friendships with people, the community in general, right? Do you feel as the elders turn a blind eye to certain situations that happen within our families, our communities, or do they contribute to the chaos that happens behind the scenes?
I would say. I mean, it could be all of them. I mean, because you have to look at it that everything just because it was done a certain way back when, and ancestry or generationally, does not mean that it was always the right way. Because you have to understand, if we go back through history, we go back to when slavery and all the kind of things, a lot of things that were taught and a lot of things that were done were given from the white man that the black people didn't create. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of practices were practiced because of enslavement, not because of free will. So generational curses and things of that nature, or traditions, or whatever the case may be, happened out of enslavement. Didn't happen out of because we were free and we could choose, and we had that type of will to do what we wanted to do and make up our own traditions. We did what we the with the okay. Let me see. We were limited on what we could practice as far as being slaves to the white man. So if we're going to talk about generational and things that have passed down through the years, um I mean, some things are right and some things are wrong, but that doesn't mean that it can't be corrected. And then also, to answer your question, no, I don't think that everything has to be respected, because everything wasn't meant really to do us any good, if you want to be honest. Once you're awake, once you're awakened, once you awoke, to the truth, and you know what is behind it, do you still respect it? Do you still go along with it? Or do you change it for the betterment of us as a culture or us as a race or yourself as an individual? So that's my answer. I don't think some things you respect, but some things you have to change. The Bible even said, shall we continue in the traditions of men? God forbid.
Okay. Anyone else?
Out of the chaos in the community by upholding some of what the brother was saying, by upholding some of these old traditions and old ways of thinking. You know, like for instance, it's one where, everybody say pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And that's one for me, that's one of them outdated sayings that no black person should go by, because we got people right here who look us in the face every day who owe us. To hell with us always having to take the high road and always having to be the bigger person. Somebody needs to unask something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we can't always do that. And with that old mindset, you know, it kind of it dampens that. It makes it to where we can't really progress because we still thinking the old way, and it's leaving us with nothing. Nobody ain't gonna closed mouth don't get fed. We know that. You know what
You
I
know,
mean?
and to piggyback off what he said, a lot of times the older generation depended on the system to do things for them. It's like, well, the system will give you this and they'll give you that, and it's not really about giving anymore. It's about you find more black people trying to be entrepreneurs than they are trying to follow the system.
And let me just say this, that I don't care. I mean, they watch me in whatever I do anyway, so I don't care. But um, the system, you have to understand how the system and the government was actually built. It wasn't built to benefit black folk. It wasn't built to benefit Mexicans, any other race. It was built to benefit the corrupt, because the system was built on a corrupt foundation. It was built on lies. It was built on stealing. It was built on thievery. It wasn't built to advance black folks and advance businesses and all these tax, all these laws, all that kind of stuff. All that was built to benefit um, the people that hierarchy.
The
Um,
oligarchy, yeah.
right, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and all them people. When it comes to powers, when it comes to government, when it comes to royalty and all that kind of stuff, all of them had something to do with that. So you have to understand that it wasn't built to, in the first place, to even benefit us and give us no type of freedom. It was built so that we could keep giving into them, and then when people become woke, they want to imprison them. You know why? People understand why prisons are built. I'm going off a little bit, but prisons are built uh because people that go against the system that was built for their benefit, when you go against it, so why can't we have a bunch of money? Why can't we have successful businesses? Why can't we come into millions and billions of dollars? But when we do, you got the feds after us.
Yeah.
You got all these people coming after us. You know why? Because now you have too much.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to have too much. They don't want you to succeed in what you're doing. So now they got to put something on you, or they got to frame you for something. And then that's when the system gets involved, and that's why you're locked up in jail.
Mm-hmm.
If when people become awake, if I tell you this, if everybody became awake and got off a 9 to 5, because really, be honest with you, a 9 to 5 was not built for your success. It was
No.
built to
Uh-huh.
keep you enslaved to work, and then you get less when you retire off a pension.
And
Okay.
that's what the old folks want you
Okay.
to do.
Let
Right.
me say one thing real quick, okay? I am the host, so whoever muted my mic, don't ever do that again. Don't ever do it. Please, respectfully, don't ever do that again.
Who muted your mic?
I
Somebody
have
muted
no
you?
idea, but somebody muted it. So let's
You probably
okay.
did it.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
definitely did
can't do
not.
that.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Okay, so okay, so anybody else have any but okay, so let me unmute your mics.
I
Okay, so
unmuted mine.
do anybody else have anything to say to add to the conversation? Bamalike, you were speaking.
Um, yeah, that's what the old folks want us to do. Like I said, they want us to put ourselves up by our bootstraps, go back and clock in till you retire, and basically be a good old boy. As we get deeper into this conversation, I'm gonna expound on that. But for now, that's my answer to
Well,
that.
I was gonna ask you, like, why do you feel that way since we're already here?
Why do I feel which way?
That
Uh,
you feel like they just want us to hit clock, punch in and punch out.
because that's the easiest. That's the path of least resistance. That's the
Hmm.
easiest way to get by. If everybody uh ever realize as people get older, like for instance, when I was young, it's a lot of stuff my mama didn't put up with. She wasn't taking none of it. I was getting popped in the mouth and all kind of stuff. But my youngest sister, it's a completely different story with her. I don't think she ever got a whooping or nothing by my mama. But me and my other sister, we like, you got it different. And it's because my mama is older now. She's more lenient. She's more passive. She's not really trying to get into the riffraff like a younger person would. And when that fight is knocked out of a lion, they become a disservice to the community, to the pride.
Hmm.
And that's why in the jungle, lions don't get old and keep running the pride. A youngster gonna whoop your ass eventually and replace you. Because for survival purposes, that prime time in the lion's life is what's needed. And it's the same thing when we being led by old people in politics. We got all that's got to get washed away. It's got to be changed. They can't stay there when the median age of the people in the Congressional Black Caucus is 60 years old. You
Yeah.
got people in there who's in their 70s, early 80s. What are we gonna do with that? What advice do you think they can give you for progression that's not gonna be outdated? You know what I mean? So now we got to get on top of that. It's kind of time for them to move around. Everybody serve their purpose, and when it's over, it's over.
Let,
Time to
let me
pass the
back on
torch.
that and give you the reason why a lot of those are still in office. Um, you have to understand that there's a code, and a lot of them have submitted and surrendered to the code when it comes to the powers that be. So we can talk all day long about they need to get at it and we can vote and all that kind of stuff. But you have to understand who has the real power behind the scenes. And we can vote all day long. We can do all that stuff. But when you are in connection and in bed with the ones that control and run, you're like a puppet. You're like you. So they're gonna keep you in there as long as you fulfill what they want you to do. When you
Almost
stop,
till you
that's
die.
are you dead? And
Yeah.
the way and it's crazy. That's just the way this system of America. We talk about the land of the free. No, it ain't the land of the free. It's the land of the control
Mhm.
and systematic. And once we come awoke to that, they don't want you to come awake to that. Once you start talking about that and you start exposing them, that's when they try to bump you off
Hmm.
They don't want
and make you
anybody
feel
to
like a
shake
lot.
the system.
Okay, I want to hear from the brother that hasn't spoken yet.
A sword, a God.
Can you say sister name on the bottom down here, sister? How you say your name?
Nuseba?
So, host, you can say that?
Nasaba?
Yeah, but you struggling with a saw. Come on now.
Asar. Yeah, Asar. Okay.
That's easy. But I mean,
We'll say
honestly, I agree with
uh-huh.
most of what everybody both of the brothers said previously. I have a few different thoughts on some of that, but for the most part, they hitting the nail on the head. I also think that as Black Americans, we gotta quit this "we don't have no power" stuff. We don't understand that, and I'm saying that because everything that they just said is true. So what I mean by that is they fooling you when they tell us that stuff right there. Thousands of oligarchs have risen and fallen in this country, if not millions. They money never save them. The only thing really save you is being able to continue producing for the country.
Mhm.
And when you look at it from that lens, we the most powerful people on the planet. It's not even close.
That's why we're a threat.
We just have to understand, and a part of that is brother alluded to lions. And to answer your question, sister, they have to be confronted, man. You don't get to just do what the hell you want to do and we don't say nothing. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. Why do you think that you're above reproach? What gave you that position? And a lot of times, culturally speaking, it's us that drive those wedges between the generations. We've been doing that shit for a long time. When jazz came out, the swing people was whining. When swing came out, the ragtime people was whining.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When the blues came out, the jazz people started whining.
Mm-hmm.
When rock and roll came out, the blues and the jazz people started whining. This is what we be doing, and we need to stop that because our story is a continuous one. Innovation don't stop with you because you old and finna die, man. Come up off the information. Stop gatekeeping your position. I'm gonna say that one more time. Stop gatekeeping your position. You ain't advancing us all, the Jim Clyburns of the world. What black people they advance in a group that a rising tide lift all boats. That's not helping me specifically, man. That's helping everybody. Stop playing on my top. But we call it having respect, letting that stuff slide. That's actually the most disrespectful thing you can do, not to them, but to our children. That's disrespectful. Because if you don't learn, we all know this quote, if you don't learn from history, what? You doomed to repeat it, right? So we should continue what you did in 1955. That was cool for 1955. 2025, we need a different strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If they
I feel
continue
like
to
they know that.
evolve the system, why aren't we continuing to evolve alongside, not even alongside of them, ahead of them? We already know what you own.
So I will say this: so the elders shape the culture; they set the tone. So what? So what do you
Right.
believe happens when outdated beliefs are still being enforced in a new generation that sees things differently?
I believe that what makes cultural valuable is its ability to stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
If as Black Americans, our culture came and went in the 20s, where would that put us right now? Your culture is your survival. If the culture disappear, guess what? You going with it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna become something else tomorrow. Stop it. It'll be our great great grandchildren that'll be something else that we not right now. So it's our culture that to preserve it, we have to be able to adapt it. You give me the information you gather, let me go over it, find the holes in it, improve upon it, and pass it on. Did a person learn to build a house in one lifetime? I doubt that very seriously. Just a house, one house. When people was learning how to build, you didn't perfect a house in your lifetime. I don't care if you tried at it every day for 60 years. You did not perfect that in your lifetime. You had to pass that on and let them see, damn, the way Paw built this is drafts in here. Let me cover up some of these cracks. Let me try this material. Maybe it's lighter, more durable. And we should do that with the culture.
Do you think that we're approaching the elders with understanding or just frustration?
Historically speaking, I would say too much understanding, to the point that you understand so much that it's almost painful to bring it up, because
Well,
you know it's gonna take them a lot to swallow this question and be able to tell you the truth. We know that already. We grew up in this environment where question, what they call questioning the elders, came with physical punishment. We all know what that's like.
We only start rebelling against it when we become complete adults.
Right.
and kids, I mean, we just accept it. And I mean, you're a kid, you're a child. So, I mean, you ain't gonna, disrespect your mama and your dad and your grandmama. You ain't gonna do that. But once you come into the truth of things as an adult,
Right.
you come out of that. Just like, religiously, or whatever the case may be, whatever system that you grew up in and were taught. A lot of that stuff wasn't. Some of the stuff wasn't biblical. Some of the stuff was done or said out of ideology or philosophy. Doesn't mean that God had anything to do with it.
I always believe it's not what you say, really is how you say it. Because you can get a message across to somebody, but it's just about the delivery.
But if the
You talking
delivery
about
is
it
not true,
concerning old folks though?
but if the delivery is not
Oh
true,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they the
I
most
always
blunt people you
tell
gonna
my
find.
children. I always tell my children, you could tell me how you feel as long as you're not disrespectful with it. But I'm not like everybody else, so I don't know. Once you
But see,
disrespectful,
this
I don't
the
want to hear
thing,
what you got
sis.
to
This
say.
the thing. This the thing. Those kind of things can't really be quantified or measured. What do I mean by that? If a person don't want to hear something, where do they draw the line at disrespect?
Right.
Just like I
I
You know
was
said,
what
just
I
the
gonna
way
mean?
that
say
you
If
old
say
folks are
your
called
child, if you say, "Hey, go wash them dishes," and your child say, "Why I gotta do that, mama? I didn't make them dishes." How you gonna feel
disrespect.
about that?
how I'm gonna handle that.
Yeah, how would you feel about that?
I've had that happen before. And
How did
you
you
know
handle
the outcome of it. They wash some dishes.
it? Of
You know why?
course.
Because they stay in the house, and everybody contributes to a dish in the sink, and that's a chore. But like I
But
said,
hear
it
me out,
depends
sis.
on.
Check this out. But look though, this what I'm saying though.
Hmm.
Um, how is it that you answered the question though? Because that's not really an answer.
It is an
Respectfully
answer.
speaking, I'm just saying
It is an
from the
answer. Everybody
standpoint,
contributes to a dish in a sink. If you eat here, then that means that you contribute. If you drink out of a glass and you put it in the sink, then you contribute to those pile up of dishes. So if you
But
don't want that
I
to
think
happen,
what he's saying, like, how is the question? How is the child asking you, why I gotta do it, how is that deemed as disrespectful? Because old folks are called anything disrespectful if it pissed them off or they don't want to hear it.
Well,
If
that's
it,
So
different though. I'm not built like that. That's different. That's different. But I do understand what you're saying. That's different. I don't find it as disrespectful. I find that, it's a question that they ask, and I'm gonna answer the question. It, like I said, it depends on your delivery and how you say things when it comes to me as a person. So, like, some older folks are set in their ways, and you can't tell them nothing. And how I grew up, especially being in a West Indian household, anything that you say is disrespectful. So,
everything you
Exactly.
say.
yeah, anything you say is disrespectful. Like, you go against anything or ask any question is disrespectful.
But the thing
So,
about it, I mean, ain't nobody gonna allow no child that came from my sperm to ask me and tell me what they ain't gonna do in my house. Period. That's now
No, but
we're not
but
gonna
no,
accept.
you misheard that, brother. You misheard that.
No, 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 no,
You
no, no. I'm not. No, I'm not
we're
talking
getting
about.
off the topic.
I'm just saying, as far as adults and raising children, as far as the black society. I mean, that's any society. I mean, any culture, any race. Um. Not just black folk. I mean any person or any adult or mother or father, how we were raised is that, hey, this the house, you the child. If I say something, you gonna do it. Period. Now if you don't like it, then there's a street corner and you get out. I
but
mean, and that's the way that a lot of us was brought up.
But
and,
is it
and
right?
I get that. I get that. But
right.
this is what I'm saying. How are you raising researchers and scholars like that?
Well, so you can't. I'll say this: if your parents were
Because that's shutting down your child being able to ask real
To
questions and
be
get real
inquisitive.
But see,
answers.
but see, you have to understand, if the parents themselves didn't get the what you talking about, the research and all that knowledge,
Mhm.
school and educate and all that kind of stuff.
They
If
ain't
they
gonna
didn't get
pass it
that
on.
from their parents and they didn't get that, they're only following a paradigm, or they're following a system that they grew up in. They don't know no better. So they can only give you as much as they were taught and
Hmm.
as much as they were trained, unless they went and they found knowledge, or they went and researched on their own and became somebody different from what they were raised in. Then they could give some. I can't give you something that I don't have.
I agree.
I
Us
can't
guys
give you
is
something that I
totally
wasn't taught.
different.
I can't give you
Um,
something that I haven't experienced. I can't give you something that I haven't learned for myself. So what am I gonna pass down? And that's the problem. A lot of people, they can't pass down anything because they don't have anything to pass down. You can't.
I,
Nothing from nothing is nothing.
I
Was
agree.
they
But
scared
look,
to
let
was
me
they
let me
scared to
back the
acquire
bus up.
yeah, one
something?
at a time, y'all. One at a time.
Go ahead, bro. You got it.
Were those people scared to acquire the information? Because a lot of times I think dealing with being afraid of the powers that be or whatever, a lot of times people just don't do stuff or be scared. Like one of my
Yeah, some
uncles
people
told
rather
me,
be quiet
I
because
don't think it
yeah,
was fear. I honestly don't think it was fear because I think about my grandfather, and my grandfather, didn't have but maybe a third grade education, but yet he worked as a longshoreman and he built his home and he built his family in it. All he knew to get ahead was to be able to go to school. That was all he knew to get ahead, was to get education, because that's all that they gave him. That's all that he knew to get beyond working in the fields and that kind of upbringing. So they only go one step further, and one step further for them was education, because that was the area we weren't allowed to be in. So now that we are allowed to be in education and we've mastered that, well, now we're like, okay, what's the next step? So now we're a new generation looking at beyond education, because now we're realizing that the education doesn't always give us what we need either. So now we're saying, how can we grow as a society with what we know? So what I'm saying is each generation is compounding off of what they have and what they were given prior to them.
right. And so it's just like what the question that he said. What was your question again?
If those elders, if some of those elders were fearful and just chose not to, you
Well,
know,
see, understand back in that day, yeah, there was especially when you're still dealing with Jim Crow, you're still dealing with segregation, you're still dealing with slavery. So those people from that era, I mean, even though you got people that fought against it, like Martin Luther King and people that walked with him and all that kind of stuff, I mean, a lot of them wasn't feared. I mean, even though violence was happening, they still stood their ground. But everybody didn't have that type of strength to go along to fight against what was going on in society. So a lot of people did remain quiet and
But
did remain silenced.
I don't think it was necessarily strength though. I think what it was is, you see, there was a lot of things that we couldn't get. They weren't giving black men. You could barely get your money into a bank account back then,
Well, yeah,
much less try to own a business. They
yeah, they gonna
weren't giving businesses to black people because they weren't giving loans to black people. They weren't going to allow you to have property. They weren't going to allow you to rent a building. You couldn't do all the things that we can do now. So they did the idea of a black man owning a business was it just it wasn't commonplace. Even though we had Black Wall Street and we had some different things that were going on in different areas, that was in those particular areas. But like I'm just thinking about my grandparents in Baltimore. There weren't black business. The black business they had was what the juke joints and a little liquor spot or a little smoke spot or something like that. But they weren't owning real businesses selling clothing brands and all the things that we're doing nowadays. They
yeah.
weren't they weren't there. They just
Black
didn't
Wall
have that.
Street, they
White
they.
people came in and tore your stuff down.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So they're only going off of what they had. So were they in fear? Yeah, they were in fear of not being able to have, not being able to provide. And then they start something and somebody say, I'm sorry, but your rent done moved up. It wasn't always just so easy as we think it was.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So now we're doing better and we need to improve upon where they were at. They were limited and they were fearful. So now here we are, and we're trying to come up and we're trying to do better and we're trying to grow beyond where they were. It's no different from your parents saying to you, hey, I want you to be better than me. That's where we are. We are trying to be better than them. And that's what we got to keep doing. We got to keep trying to be better than them.
So I have a
They
question.
ain't got nothing going on.
I have a question when it comes to that, right? Whenever they say be better than me, and I'm gonna say, for instance, looking at our community, when they say, "Oh, I want you to do better than me or be better than me," and then you become better than what they are, do you feel like in some ways some of them try to stop that?
They're jealous.
Well, yeah, because I mean, a lot of them don't have or didn't have what we have right now, and so when you have access unlimited to a lot of things that they didn't have access to, then jealousy and envy can creep in of your child, which is sad. Which is,
We're
I
Yeah.
not
mean,
even just talking about the home dynamics. We're also talking about community based as well. Like if you're a person out in the community, let's say it's just somebody that you know in the community, um, somebody that you deal with on a regular basis, if they see you coming up, like let's say somebody that you look at as, a mother figure or aunt figure or just a figure that you respect, or a father figure, somebody that you would call uncle. Oh, hey, what's up, unc? Do you really feel that they really mean at times, hey, I want you to be better than me? And whenever you start succeeding in life, do you feel as if some of them gradually try to tear you down? And that's what
Absolutely.
I mean when I say chaotic behind the scenes.
but see, that only comes. You would only know that by the actions of a person.
I
Hmm.
believe
I think
most
in my
people in
society
general
is
suffer from that.
if a person's actions so that one thing I stand on and the principle that I stand on, when you are secure and who you are and your identity and the power that you have on the inside of you, you don't have no room to be jealous and envy of nobody. You know why? Because you know who you are. You have your identity. You ain't got no identity crisis. You know your purpose and destiny in life. And you understand that what other people have may not be something that God wanted you to have. So
Right.
you don't get jealous, you support. But there are a lot of people that have hidden motives, hidden agendas, and behind the scenes, they can say one thing, but you got to pay attention to people's responses, how people react, people's actions towards you, all of that. And if you feel like that they are showing a jealous, envy type spirit, then I mean you don't stay around it. You just move along. You don't have to
Well,
accept it.
what I have found is that, and it happens with me in relation to education. So I know, and this may have happened to a lot of people, and that's that when you get to a certain education level, then all of a sudden I have heard people say, oh well, I'm glad you got your education. And then they'll start talking about why they couldn't, or what wasn't able to obtain theirs. I had to get out and go to work. I ain't had time to go to school.
That
And
re-
that's their way of kind of cutting you down a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm
That's
sorry, I,
crazy.
I couldn't do this. I had to do that. I didn't. I wasn't able to do what you can do. I
secret
didn't
hate,
have that.
you know.
And just at the base of it, you know, at the base of it, when you understand people, most people are gonna behave that way. The most carnal desire that we have as people, being creatures that like to flock together, is approval seeking. We want that
For platforms, yeah.
at the base of us, at the core of who we are as human beings. That's what we desire. So that motivate pretty much everybody. You have to be a very self-aware individual, like brother said, to even gain security where you can say, damn, he's shining. It ain't me. It ain't gotta be me. Let me applaud him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so, a lot of that stuff is like, um, we have to, I do agree with all y'all. We have to approach the elders with a level of grace. We do. But I still gotta come knock on your door now.
Yeah,
I still gotta do that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And because we are the vanguards. Yeah, y'all advance the culture, but we the vanguards of it. You can't do nothing to protect it right now.
hmm
And they also have to be on board with us as far as, hey, I understand that you wanted to be the face of leading us to the mountaintop, but your time didn't expired and it's okay. Pass it on. It's a young man's game. I'm damn near an old nigga. So I gotta assume the role of teacher.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask
That's
a
that's that's
question.
actually what I was saying in natural earlier. Is the fact that we are starting to be this. We're moving into that phase.
Yeah.
We're moving into that phase. And if we continue to start to tear each other down, like I'm seeing in the community nowadays, it's like, the minute we see one another, even at our age, because we're the unks and aunties. I don't care nobody. That's what a lot of us are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whether we want to be or not, we are those people. And if we are doing it at our age of tearing each other down and doing these things to one another, how does that look?
Right.
For these young folks out here who don't know nothing from nothing, and they looking at us and they're like, they don't even got it together, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
So,
say
do you think that some of the elders feel as if, okay, when it comes to issues in the community, and we bring it to their attention, and we say, hey, this is going on, that is going on, I need your guidance, I need your wisdom on this, how can you help me with this situation? Do you feel as sometimes the reason we don't get the results that we want is because they're probably tired, or they feel like we don't listen, or we're gonna do our own thing regardless.
Yeah.
No, they tired, but because as you age, so do your motivations. You
Okay.
when you 60, you don't think you can conquer the world like you did when you was 23. So your fight becomes a different fight.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You
Really.
have some hanger-ons who wanna be in the way, bro. You 60, please. Let me I got you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, they hanging on to want to be the face. Like
Mhm.
take somebody like Jim Clyburn. They call him the kingmaker. You
Mhm.
think that man didn't like that? Hmm. We really gonna sit here and play with ourselves. Like hearing them people call him that didn't make him feel like, you know, he
Like he
was HNIC. It's stuff like that. You have to be willing to relinquish hold. You got to transition from a student to a politician. I mean, student to a warrior to a politician. You got to get out the way, bro.
I say this, my I was at and it's crazy. I didn't think I'd ever be asked this question, but I was at my 30th birthday party, and I had nothing but dignitaries and politicians and millionaires, everybody was in the room. And a young person came to me. He was an artist, and came to me, and they was all sitting around the table, and they just started asking me questions. And one of them asked me. They said, "We know you." In those that don't know, I did invent gospel soul music worldwide. So that is my genre of music that is now a global genre. Everybody's doing it. And they asked me, they said, "Do you think that you would ever teach or train somebody um, to take your place or some of that nature?" I said, "Well, you could never take my place. You could never be me because I'm the originator. I orchestrated. I'm
Right.
the blueprint. I'm the
You
foundation
broke the
of
ground.
how
Right.
built. But
Right.
I can train you on how to be successful in this music or in the genre itself and what that looks like. But I can never train you. I can never uh train you to be me as the originator and the founder of a genre of music. I can't do it." I said, "But I can train you on how to succeed in it. I can help you. I can give you platforms. I can give you the space or whatever the case may be. But I can never teach you how to be me because you have to understand a lot of times what people have invented, what people have orchestrated, only God gave it to them. It put it inside of them.
Mhm.
So yes, they're going to die with that. But that doesn't mean that they don't have to give the information or teach somebody on how to be successful in that arena. Just like James Brown, just like Aretha, just like Little Richard. All of them had prodigies. Michael Jackson was a prodigy of James Brown. James Brown was a prodigy of somebody. Everybody that was an inventor or a king or a queen, label of over a genre, was a prodigy of somebody or learned from somebody.
I see that as more of like you said, that's more of a skill set that can't be taught. But when it comes to politics or business or something like that, that's something you can show someone. But I feel like a lot of times they don't want to. I feel like what the brother was saying is that they want to hold on to it and they don't want to relinquish it. And I think when you do that, it doesn't help us grow. And then the bigger issue that I find is that they don't want to take any new ideas. It's like their ideas and their way of doing it created created who they are. So
That
now when you see a
stubbornness.
young brother, a young sister come in and say, "Let's do it like this. Let's elevate this game." No, 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 no. This is how it's done. And I think that's where the problem lies.
It's the old
Because
person.
we have a specific generation of brothers and sisters in this country specifically who A kept a lot of their resources and stuff to themselves, or B squandered off the stuff that they received from their parents. And what it ended up doing is leaving a generation of kids, my generation, who was the most disenfranchised ever in history. Just like we don't have shit to go off of. And with that being said, it's like the brother was saying, why gatekeep all that information where, and I'm talking about the baby boomer class, where y'all can have money and you not even passing down the information on how to get the money.
Now, let me tell you this to add on to that one, though. Like the issue too is I've seen so many people, so many people. I'm so tired of you. Gonna have to pay to get this information. You're gonna have to pay to. You have to pay me to be able. Why would I do all the hard work to get
They
all
want
of
to
this
haze
to
you.
elevate myself, and now we want to get paid to help one another? Just to give them the information, not help them do it, not start them out, just to show them how to do it. You gonna pay me to do it because that's what the white people do. So now
Right.
I'm a copy the white people, and that's how they get paid. They get paid based off trying to show you how to do it. And I'm telling you, I we always we hurting ourselves, man.
And
Okay, so
That's
see,
I'm,
safe.
I'm gonna bring the conversation full circle real quick. Then I'm gonna be quiet because I need to get off camera for like 3 minutes. But um, this is what I meant by for us to help change that. We have to raise our children to be those who answer questions. And the ancestors made mistakes, but this is what I thank them for. They didn't raise us to ask questions, but they actually created the conditions that's forcing us right now to ask these questions.
Yeah,
Forcing it.
Pressure creates diamonds.
yeah.
So we can be the ones who say, you know what, I need to leave room. Yeah, it can be, I can answer your question and then I'm gonna tell you also because I said do that. But you free to ask the question.
And
It's
we
not
couldn't even ask it
disrespectful that
before.
you would like to know.
What's the doctor down at the bottom?
The
Newspaper,
saver.
so I'm not the
Who
only one. I'm not the only one that have problems with names. So continue.
don't
newspaper.
do
Yeah.
that? um, but to piggyback off what you said about people paying for information, let's look at this because me myself, I've done all kind of stuff, marketplace conferences, all kind of things, and people have paid for it. Why would somebody not? Because you have to understand value, worth, what you don't know what people had to go through to even get what they have, or what type of price that they paid to get to what they had. So would it be wrong for somebody to charge for information or to show how to do it or how to complete it if I myself or you yourself or whoever's on this line went through hell, went through this, went through that just to get to where they are, and then somebody tell them, oh, it's wrong for you to charge us. But baby, you don't know what price I paid. You don't know what the hell I went through. You don't know how many times I was homeless. You don't know how much money I came out of just to make this work and to build it. And now you want me to give you something for free. I
Let
don't
me.
think so. For
I
me,
think it
I don't
depends
think
on
that.
the information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Let
has a
me answer
point
that.
there. He
I'll
has
Do I
a
answer
have a
that.
point
point?
there.
I mean, I have a point there.
Yeah, it
So
depends
I
on what it is.
actually agree with
He has
the
a
brother
valid
on
point
that.
there.
I think if something is valuable, especially information
Right?
to those that aren't immediate family,
Exactly.
and I mean even sometimes not even them, because what you gonna do with this information? But I believe if it's valuable, the people should pay for it. But I also believe that um there should come a point where if the information is critical to a certain degree, at a certain point, we got to transition from that everything must go mindset.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like it's
I'm not
all,
saying.
you know
I'm
what
not
I'm
saying that.
saying?
Okay,
I'm not
so
saying
wait, wait,
that you should.
wait. I want to address this what I have pinned up here.
Mhm.
This, El Remy says this is a good topic. Some elders do turn a blind eye, and we also have to ask ourselves why. Because I did ask, at the beginning, do do we feel as if the elders turn a blind eye to things that happen within the community? And that was a question that I did ask, and why. But I think y'all completely went left in a different direction. So
Little
I
bit.
want to address
Everybody,
this and bring it
everybody
back
ate
up.
questions.
It
Excuse me?
depends on what
Everybody,
we're talking about though, because the elders, if you're talking about like within the families, like say you got a uncle or something who touching on the kids and grandma don't want to say nothing and not calling the police and that type of shit. Yeah, they do that. They have done it. You know what I'm saying? That's I think we coming out of that though, because we into the era where people asking a lot of questions. So people just really not going for that type of shit. And people
Right.
actually bucking grandparents and bucking the elders. Like they don't really care about that no more. And so
So Brother Ali says people, our elders no longer care.
and that's what I meant by protecting their own positions.
Mm.
We're a communal people. So it's
Yeah.
certain stuff that we never hoarded away from each other. Food and information at the top of the list.
He said because of the level of disrespect coming from the youth.
I agree with. I mean, because you have to understand these youth, especially in the schools, and that's why I couldn't be no teacher, or nothing like that. I just couldn't do it. Y'all be seeing me sitting up there with a sign holding up, with a mugshot. 'Cause I mean, these children can be out of control,
They
and it,
can. They
and,
can.
and to disrespect teachers and put your hands on them and all this kind of stuff. Listen, you got one time.
That's why I said it depends on
Right.
how you say things in your delivery
And some of them are
sometimes.
older people. Or some of
Yeah.
these people that are teachers were older people.
I'm still
I
gonna
think
say
in
it. I'm
history,
still
the
gonna
older
say it.
folks always thought the youth was disrespectful. That's always
Always.
been a
That,
thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But see, things are
Yeah.
kind of changing with that a little bit, because I know with me, I can't speak for everybody else. Things are kind of changing with that. Now you see things. What I don't know. I don't believe in gentle parenting. I believe in parenting, but not gentle parenting. Because that gentle parenting stuff that I see is kind of wild these days. Like, oh no, Jimmy, little Jimmy, you don't say that. You're like, fuck you, mom.
Them,
Like, no,
them,
little Jimmy, go sit in the corner. Yeah, you got me all messed up. You cuss at me, you got one time. So I don't play those type of games. I'm not into that type of gentle parenting. I'm gonna tell you right now. So everybody on this platform that's speaking on parenting, do y'all all have children?
Yes. But
Yeah.
guess what?
Okay,
I'm gonna
great,
tell you.
great.
I'm gonna tell you one of
Perfect.
the foundations of the gentle parenting. It's one of a liberal mindset, but it's also one of a old mindset. That's the way
Mhm.
my mama act with my kids. That's the way my grandparents
Oh
acted with me. That's
gosh.
the way they act.
And you know what? And this generation that's coming up have some of the biggest brats. They do like
And that's
entitled
where
brats.
I wanted to jump in at, because
Okay.
I don't like, well, let me not say like, but
Mhm.
yeah, I gotta say that I'm really not fond of the forward, I don't know. I just feel like it's disrespectful for us to sit our ass up here and say these youngsters disrespectful. Who raised them? Why the person that raised them ain't the disrespectful one? Cause where they get that from?
Okay, let me say this, right? I
Read it.
will say this.
That's
Um,
again driving wedges between the generations. I don't think that's right.
well, I didn't say anything about the youth being disrespectful. I'm reading comments, right?
Well, no. I wasn't making it a personal. I'm just saying in
Okay.
general how we tend to look at these situations. Most
Uh-huh.
of
You
the
know,
time, we gonna say these youngsters disrespectful. We ain't gonna say the elders disrespectful. If you run up to a youngster that don't know you, hey man, pull up your britches. Man, that man don't know you like that. Just cause you're an older. Everybody ain't an elder. We need to stop
That is
that.
true. That is true. There's seniors and there's elders. And I say that all the time. You're new to my channel, but I say that all the time. That's one of my
Yeah,
sayings.
What?
that's all I'm saying. I wasn't addressing anybody specifically, brother
Okay.
Ali, in the comments. I'm just
Okay.
responding, in
Let me,
general to his statement because I believe it should be. We need to give grace going forward and backwards. Everybody need grace, man. We done been through a lot, so
I
to
think it's
expect.
the elders' job to meet the youngsters halfway. It's
I
not the
agree.
youngsters' job to
I,
come up to where we at. We got to go get them. We teaching.
I agree.
so let
But
me, who is this Ali must saying whatever?
his name is Ali Mustafa Muhammad.
Yeah, big,
That's a
big
brother of
fella,
mine.
brother Ali.
Um, he said, I'm not gonna repeat that, but someone seeking information on how to start a business will not take money out of your pocket. Whatever, crab in the barrel mentality. That's not a crab. First of all, you have to understand this. So your opinion, people have their own opinions and have their own what they stand on, and I'm not gonna fight your opinion, and you can't fight mine. But the thing about it is, what people value and what people feel that their worth is, they can do whatever they want to do. They can charge if they want to. I said because that's
Uh,
information that
I'm gonna
they
send Ali the link. He'll we'll send him the
so
link.
the reason why I said that, the reason why I brought that up, that I don't think people should charge for information, is because then you end up being no different from the elders, where you're trying to hold on to that information. Because not everybody, first of all, not everybody can afford to pay for the information. That's number one. And then number two, a lot of these young people don't even know where to begin. So if you have this wealth of information and you could at least start them on the path, not get them through, not do it for them, not show them, but just start them on the path and say, hey, here's the steps that I follow. Go start these steps, come back to me. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe,
in that part. What I'm saying is y'all are missing everything that I'm saying.
You
I'm
gotta
saying
be serious about it. You don't waste my time.
right.
because I
That's
have been
anything
in
I
rooms.
do.
I've been in rooms with young folk. I've been in rooms with all kind of people, and people have sat at the table with me. And yes, I did give information. Yes, I did teach them certain things. But if I'm doing a conference, if I'm doing a business, if I'm doing, yes, I'm going to charge. You're not
That's
going to get in
different.
there for free.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Don't
yeah,
take what I'm saying as if I'm just going not not teach or train, or whoever is not going
yeah,
to teach train. Yes, I can give you a portion, but if I'm doing a business seminar or I'm doing a conference or I'm doing a big meeting to where
yes, you
it's a
charge.
people of a whole that are coming, people from everywhere that are coming, yes, I'm going to charge. So no, that's
I
not
agree.
reality. No,
I
you're going
agree.
to get money off of that
I
because
agree.
you're teaching everybody now. You're not being in a separate room where it's just two or three, four, five people sitting in there. You're
Yeah,
teaching a whole body of people.
yeah,
So
I
for my
agree.
time,
If
for
that's what
my
you
for
do for a living, that
my
makes
work,
sense.
for the information that I'm giving, for the hours that I'm there, all that kind of stuff. Yes, I'm going to get my money off of that.
It's
I
so
agree.
bad.
I fully agree. I definitely agree with that. What I was referring to when I said teach one another, I meant like within our black community, with our black youth, are just meeting them, meeting, like you said, one or two people, and they say, I'm coming to you to try to get this information because I'm trying to do this. I'm
Yeah, I mean, I stay on phone to 2, 3 in the morning sometimes, mentoring younger people, youth people. So don't ever. I don't want anybody to take what I'm saying differently because I am one that mentor people. So
right.
I don't want people to in the comments to take what I'm saying as something totally different, or I'm just gonna charge every time somebody talks to me or
Everybody has difference of
my
opinions. It's
people.
okay. This is what the
No.
platform is
I
about.
but I just have to make what I'm saying clear
Yeah,
so
Thank
everybody
understood.
you.
understands what I'm saying.
I
Uh,
appreciate it.
If there's many times that if I'm on the phone, there's youth come to me all the time from all over the country, and I'll sit down with them or I get on the phone with them and say, hey, what's going on? Talk to them, because you have to understand this. There are a lot of youth, there's a lot of young people that don't have role models, that didn't grow up with the father, that didn't grow up. They probably had a father but didn't have a mother, or didn't have that role model or that mentor in their life to teach them what they need to know and how to obtain certain things. So yes, if I got it and I have it, and I can sit one-on-one with you, or we sit and we meet and we talk, sure, I don't mind giving that away and helping you, because I know you need to be put on the right track. I'm not going to charge you for being put, because you need some help. You need some guidance. You need to be steered in the right direction.
Right.
Now, no, I'm against that. Now, if somebody's coming to you and they coming to you out of sincere help, and they really need somebody in their life to teach them and train them and put them on the right mode, no, you ain't gonna charge them. No, you should do that because you have a heart.
But see,
We're getting off track,
that's
y'all.
what I'm seeing happening though, and that's
Mhm.
why I appreciate you. I appreciate that. But that's what I was actually referring to, is I see that happening even on a one-on-one. Just a
Right.
sister coming to another sister, and she'll say, "How did you do that? How did you?" Well, sister, I tell you what, I'll set you up with Calendly, and we'll get you on the calendar, and we'll go ahead and set up a meeting for me to, and it'll be $30 for the first setup, and then I'll teach, and that's what we're doing to one another. That's what I mean, and
That's the
that's what's
climate of
actually happening.
America. Everybody move like they Netflix or something.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's like if we could just at least put these youth on the right path. Like when I tell people about going and like getting degrees and things like that, and I tell them and I'll say, listen, there's certain paths you can go on. If I'd known what I know now, I would go back, I would do this. I'd make more money if I did that. Or I would have not been. And then that's what I try to share with them. If I'd have known this, I would have went to this. So I wouldn't. That's the stuff people are charging for now. And it's just like, how are we going to help one another to come up if just one person comes to you and you say, you put your hand out asking for $40 or $150 or whatever it is. It's like,
Let
God,
me
no.
Yeah,
expound on what
and
the
I
brother was
understand.
saying.
Oh, I understand both positions. I understand that, especially as a man, like if something is of value, you should be willing to invest in yourself. And then if you can't, you can find ways to, like the brother say, find and finally get to him and say, hey, bro, I really don't have it to give it to you, but is there anything you can give me?
Right.
Now he
Mentoring.
can. Now he can filter and say, "Hey, this young brother special. Let me get him the game,"
Right.
because I believe the game almost gotta be behind a paywall because people play too much.
Yeah, they do.
People play too much, man. People will waste your time. I know if I get your money involved, you're not gonna play with me. But at the same time, as we transition into being elders, we have to be philanthropists with the information. You can't make money off of it forever.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So I understand the balance of both sides, and that's where we gotta again ask these questions and find out where we can go, where it's good on both sides, where it's a benefit for everybody.
I like the way William is doing it. Like he said, he mentors, he helps people one on one, two or three people, sure. But when he's doing a conference, yeah, you're going to pay.
Right, right,
This where your spiritual side come in. And I used to do this when I used to have my studio. When people came to the studio, and when you get there, I
Peace,
gotta
brother.
find you a beat, and y'all want to freestyle and play, and everybody getting high and BSing. I'm charging. But
Yeah.
when you come in there and you ready and you talented and I hear the hunger in you, we about to go to work and I don't want $1 from you. So you got to use your discernment on who's serious and like bro said, who playing.
Right,
Because a lot of people play. But as black folks, we got the intuition to know who deserve that intuition. It's like
Right.
being at a dojo. You know who the one is. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And
So
I'm just not gonna give that just to anybody just because they say they want
right,
it.
Right.
I
right.
got, I got,
yeah,
and now sometimes God will speak and say, "Hey, help this person." And see, people understand God will pay you on the back end. It ain't all
Right.
about money, and that's what we gotta get at. It's not all about money, but if
Okay,
I can help
so
one person,
okay,
if
I
I can
want to
change one person's life, I mean,
I want to say this. We got totally off topic. Sometimes it happens because it is not scripted, and I understand that. But Brother Ali is now on. Welcome, Brother Ali. He was in
Hey,
the
what's going
comments.
on?
So I want to give him a
How you
chance.
doing, brother?
All right. As I was saying in the comments, man, it is crab in the barrel mentality to me, and I say that because of experience. Um, my experience with this is I asked a brother. In fact, I went to 6 brothers over the course of 3 years, asking them about inquiring about starting a trucking company. I never got nowhere with these brothers. I don't know these brothers from a can of paint, and I'm in different states while I'm over the road driving trucks. And you know what I got? I got the good old story about Jesus. That's what I got. No offense. Well, the Lord this, the Lord that. I said, man, I ain't asked you about God. I asked you, what did you do from the point that you started driving the truck? What did you do? How much money? Is there anything dealing with credit? What paperwork do I need to file? What's the steps? I couldn't get nowhere with my people. Even when I asked sister, I really got it with the sisters. The Lord did this for me. Man, come on. I'm not asking you for the information so that I can take money out of your pocket. It's enough money out here for all of us to make.
Yep.
Right.
So how is someone asking you for information to get started? Now whether I actually go forward with the information is on me.
Right.
I still need the information. It may not happen for me today, tomorrow. It may happen for me a year or two, maybe 10 years from now. See what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what business it is. But I went to a white boy. Let me show you the difference. And I'm pro-black from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. But this white boy sat me down at a Love's in Wyoming. And he told me, he said, you got time? I said, yeah, I got some time. He said, get you something to write down. Get you something to write with. And he said, you ate yet? I said, no, I'm getting ready to buy something. He said, don't worry about it, I pay for it. The white man said, I sat there with that white boy for 3 hours and we talked about trucking. But he told me, he said, no matter what business you start, he said, this is your start of the blueprint. He said, not only do you need cash, but you need credit, business credit. There were things that you have to know. There are places you have to go. There are certain things you have to say when you're going to go to a bank, and you're going to have a portfolio. You need to have a plan. So you have to have a business plan. I couldn't get this information from my own people. Then I look on the internet and I see brothers want to sell you information that you can just simply just tell somebody, hey man, look, if you want to start a lawn business, man, all you do is get you a lawnmower. You need to make sure you have some gas, but you need a DBA. If you want to get lawn equipment, you need to get a business loan. But how you get it, you need to have business credit. You need to have capital. It's certain things you have to have in order to get there. Now, if all I'm doing is asking you to share that information with me, how does that hurt you? How does that offend you? Why do I need to pay you so that I can eat? It's no different than somebody being on the job. I'm not asking you to uh, 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 give me the job for free. I just need the information I need so I can at least try to do the application and maybe get in. If you can help me, help me. It's on me if I fail. It's no stain on you if I drop the ball. You may not ever see me in life. The problem with us as a people, especially with black folks, is we feel like if you get just a little bit ahead of me, you're gonna outshine me. That's our problem. That's why we kill each other so much in the neighborhoods. Because we see somebody that's got a nice car, and I feel like if he got a nice car and I get a better car than him, well, he gonna hurt me. I buy a nice pair of pants, I got a better pair of pants. His haircut look better than mine. His grill look better than mine. See, we judge each other based on material things. And we are afraid to share that information because what we do, we tear each other down with that information. And as far as the conversation about the elders and our youth, I'm out here all the time dealing with these kids. And I always naturally like they not take this always to the parents and the community. It's our fault. We got to stop playing around with this. I'm 53 years old. This is our fault. It ain't got nothing to do with my grandmother, because my grandmother dead and gone. My grandmother now 100 some years old now, she dead. But my grandmother, I'm coming after my granny. If you 50 some years old and these kids out here running around like this right here, bro, it's your fault. Because I keep saying this, because if you're not raising your own kids, you need to help somebody raise theirs.
Come
Black
on
women,
now.
a lot of them don't want you helping with the kids. That's why I did a video the other day. I got a video on my page right now that I did. I specifically said it starts at home.
Come on
Help,
now.
help the people. You don't, man, listen, you ain't got to come out your pocket all the time. But if you're gonna go to a youngster, you got to go with tangible information to help the little
Come
boy.
on
You
now.
can't
Come
go to the
on
boy
now.
trying to sell him a dream.
Come
You
on
got to
now.
go with tangible information. It's got to be tangible because he already out here hustling, making money, homie. He already out
Right.
here getting bands. He already out
Fact.
here robbing and jacking. So what information can I give him that's gonna help him get off the streets? I can't go talking like I'm standing up here like I'm a fucking politician.
Mhm.
They want to hear a politician. They can turn it on CNN. They lie all the time. So now I stand convicted. I stand convicted because here I am a street nigga. So when I go to him, I got something to offer him.
Right.
I'm so good at it. I take them to the place. I take them to Minuteman. I take them to labor force. I take them where they need to go on my off day. When I got time, I give them everything. I call the people. I let them know, hey, I got this young guy coming. I got this girl coming. They need the job.
Right.
Send them somewhere where they can go and get help and get work. Send them. Be the middleman. Be the connection for them so that they can get help.
Be the job.
But if all you guys a conversation, bro, man, come on, man. If
Right.
I just want to hear a conversation, homeboy, I can just cut it on TV. And I'm not trying to say this to be funny. I can just go to my local church if I just want to hear a bunch of that. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna sit back and tell me all I got to do is give you this right here, and I can't get nothing, I can't get none of my return, man, I need help.
Mhm.
I need help. I need food to eat. Why are you sending me to a shelter when you got a whole building with money you collect every week?
Right.
Help me right now. Don't tell me I got to go over here, then I'm gonna get turned away. Well, Pastor, I went over there. They told me that they couldn't help me. Okay, well, just give me some time. Let me try to find something else. No, I came to you. I ain't come to you to go to a third, fourth party. I came to you.
Excuse me, brother Ali. I don't mean to cut you off, but you were saying something, and it was a layer we didn't touch on, and I wanted to, because I believe you right, because I was addressing it more from a specialized information standpoint, like this my niche lane. I was, but from what you talking about, like where it's plenty money for everybody, trucking or whatever, and you not telling me how I can be in that lane, bro. What's wrong with you,
Exactly.
brother
That's a
Black? We
problem.
ain't gonna say no names. He knows somebody right now. We go say, hey man, I wanted to start a business like that, man. Can you help me, man? Listen, man. Listen
Yeah,
to
and,
me.
and it,
He
it's
wanna
nothing. It's
hey.
nothing to
Oh,
tell somebody.
I had to do this and that. You gotta just tell me how to get
Just
it, man.
tell me how to do it. That's
Right.
it. I'm not telling you to tell me what your bank account look like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Let me
asking you
make
for a
my
dollar.
own destiny.
Hey man, information is free. I don't
Yeah.
care what nobody say, bro.
Yeah.
Information is free, homie.
Yeah.
Listen, a conversation that we're having right now is free. This is
Mhm.
information we sharing. Is
Right.
anybody charging for it?
No.
No.
Right.
Come on, man. If
Yeah.
we can sit here and have this type of dialogue, why can't we have dialogue with a business person? But this we can't have it with our own people. I can't say you can't go out there and do it with the Mexican man, or you can't do it with the Asian man, or you can't do it with anybody else. It's us that we're the ones. Our people may not be you, may not be nobody on this panel, but it is our people that we get the most pushback from. We get the most pushback from our own people just because I want to know how did you make that ground meat so that I can make a hamburger patty?
Right.
You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Why I got to hear a whole life story just to know
Why
that?
I got to bring the whole cut and let you charge me to ground the meat up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just want the knowledge. Now, if
Yeah.
I'm able to get it going, cool. Guess what? You over here working, I'm over there. Hey man, guess what? This is how we get the foreigners out of our community. This is how we get the Asians and how we get the Hispanics and all these other people out of our community. But we can't get them out of our community because we too busy pulling each other down. We can't get it. We're not gonna ever get there
Yeah.
because we too busy trying to destroy one another just because one person is trying to get ahead.
Hmm.
When you
You
made
getting ahead
when you made the statement, excuse me, when you made the statement that the elders don't care anymore, why did you feel the need to make that statement? What made you say it?
because they don't. The elders, a lot of our elders, the ones, and I mean like 80, 90, that's what we mean by elders. They don't care no more because the children that they raised
I
dropped the
would
ball.
say an elder would be a little bit younger than that as well. Like whenever you once you hit your like your 60s, mid
65.
60s, that would be considered an
Well,
elder.
I
okay,
mean,
well,
one should be
I
an
I I,
elder
I,
to
I would say,
anybody
but
younger than them.
And check this out
Yeah.
too, because let me make this statement because I'm 46, right? And some people will look at me like, let's say they're like in their teens or they're in their early 20s, they'll look at me like I'm an elder because
well,
I'm way
see,
older than they are.
well,
So it
no,
just
see,
depends
you will be considered an OG. I'm considered as an
on
unk. I'm in my 50s. I'm an unk. I've already gotten past the OG stage.
Yeah.
So now when I get in my 60s, yeah, you can be your elders or whatever, 70s elders, and then on back past that you be a senior. But yes, I do feel
oh
like
shit,
the elders
I'm
don't
40.
care
How I said I
as
was
much.
getting my age.
Well, stop it.
I know I'm serious. I really
Grind.
You,
You
didn't
you,
only
even
got
you
get
know
I
my
only
what,
age.
got but so
Ali?
many more years
I,
and I'm gonna be 60 years old. So
Ali,
Yeah,
I think the
but
Well,
elders
I'm the youngest
don't
one on here.
care.
Probably. I'm 30, so I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
yeah, they don't really care as much because people the age group under them no longer care. As long as this age group like where we got now between 39 and I want to
50,
say between 39 and
50.
60, long as they out partying and hanging with the teenagers, they're like the rodeo. You couldn't tell the young women from the
sure
elders,
could.
from the
Oh
older women.
God.
And they dressing
Even
just
the
like the
older
young ones.
chicks had ass out. You see what I'm saying? So you really can't tell.
That's
And then you see the brothers. You got older brothers looking like
They're like the
younger
young
men.
ones.
You see what I'm saying? So why would the elders particularly care? What can they do? It's really nothing that they can say. It's up
You
to us.
right?
Let
The
me
elders
ask you
y'all
can't
this
say you
remember?
gotta.
question,
The
It's
elders
the
brother.
can't say
unks
you
and the
gotta
aunties. You
respect
know what I'm
me.
saying?
Let me ask you.
And the elders doing the same thing that you doing.
Right. Let
Right.
me ask you a question, brother Ali. Whenever you see a young man with their pants sagging, do you correct that and tell them to pull it up?
Sometimes I'm not gonna tell you all the time
Yeah.
because I have to be. You have to be careful how and who you approach
That's right.
Right.
nowadays. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? He lied to have an AK-47 down his pants leg
Yeah.
and ready to go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of like I tell like I keep kind of just talking about it. It's gonna take all of us brothers, especially our older brothers, in between the ages of 35 and 55, to get out there and deal with these young men, whether we know them or not.
But
It's
see,
gonna
here's
take
the
a
thing
band
though.
of us.
With that, it's like I see men in their 50s acting a damn fool.
But see, we that's why you have y'all ever heard me say we gonna have to go to war with our own people before we can straighten this out.
Right.
Mhm.
We're
They
gonna
got
have
to
to.
be first. The
Got
house,
a
we got
battle in
to
the
clean up the
backyard.
house
We're gonna
first.
have to deal. We're gonna have to deal with our own man the same way we might have to deal with the enemy. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Because they are so indoctrinated and so embedded in the wrong that they do, to where I had an older guy, told me that he didn't really know anything, but he's stuck in the streets. You understand what I'm saying? The way he talked, the way he walked, his whole demeanor was just straight hood,
Hmm.
Mm.
and he almost 60.
Yep. They need that education. They really do. They need the education. They need the information. They need to
Yeah,
know where to
the youth
start.
need it,
The
but the only
values
way,
change.
the Saber, the only way we're gonna reach the youth is our older brothers gonna have to get together. We got to get ourselves together. Cause we not gonna be able to get. Let me put it like this, and I said this before. You can't take care of a woman with kids, whether they're your kids or not. You can't do anything for her and them children if you can't take care of yourself. If a man can't provide for him, you cannot provide for them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And if we don't get ourselves together, we can't possibly go out there and deal with these kids. Because
Yeah.
it's no reason why your 14, 15-year-old son or daughter is out there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in the parking lot doing donuts, shooting at each other, fighting.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
then you get a phone call that your 14-year-old is down in juvenile or they done been killed. Or they ain't been home in 2, 3 days. You see what I'm saying? You have no idea where they at. This is the way our people are living right now.
Hmm.
This come from that same generation of people I was talking about earlier, because we used to have grandmas and aunties on the porch
Yeah.
outside watching the kids as they
But what
play
changed, Brother
outside.
Malik?
And now
What
they at the
changed?
club.
In
What
the
changed
80s,
is
what
them
changed is
the
they
mothers
took
of them kids
no,
used to come
no,
outside and say, "You
One
can't
at a
tell my
time.
no,
kid
that's not what
nothing. That's
happened.
my
Time,
That's
leave
y'all.
not
my
what
baby
happened.
alone."
One at a
That's
time.
not what happened. What happened is in the 80s when white folks said they were taking away corporal punishment.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
that
happened.
did happen.
When
That
they
happened too.
said that it's okay for the children to pick up the phone or go to the counselor at school and
Hmm.
report that my mama whooped me. See, you used to get whoopings from your neighbor. You used to get a pop from the teacher.
The whole
But now
neighborhood.
when they
The
took
whole
that away,
neighborhood.
Right.
You get
right? You
raised
see
by
what I'm saying?
everybody.
When
Church,
the
Right.
lady on the
everything.
porch tell
You
your
know what I'm
mama
saying?
and they tell this person, everybody
And
gonna get it.
and and, and then when they start having them PTA meetings after that, the parents were told that you're no longer allowed to whoop your child, spank your child. So you used to get them good ass whoopings. Now you hit one of these kids, you got to be concerned whether they gonna do something to you. But my thing is, I'll be more focused on the dads. I don't give a damn what that woman say. Get your sons, man.
I agree with
Get
the
your
brother.
boys.
And real
Get your
quick,
boys.
let me expound on what you saying, brother. A part of that start with, because I come from a particular background too, me black. Um, bro, what I really don't like, it's like people um forget that they was 15, 16,
Eh,
17.
exactly.
So you would rather tell me black people need to do better. That includes you. So take your ass out there and offer them a job where you've been working there for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But see, they want to say they disrespectful. Bro, I used to be one of them. Ain't nobody gonna shoot you just for coming up trying to talk to them, bro. Cut that shit out, man. Get out there and
Yep.
talk to your young brothers, man. And I'm with. That's why I say I'm with you, bro. We gotta stop this scary. They gonna do something to me, bro. No, they not, bro. No, they not. A lot of them youngsters, just like we was, is looking for a way out of that, bro. I don't want to wake up in the morning and stand on goddamn Kasi Kona with this crack. Is you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Stand in third ward on in front of CUNY homes with this dope on me. You think, bro, I'm looking for a way to put this down. But I'm
Yeah,
not
I
gonna just drop put it down because you come up talking fairy tales. Have some information.
I
Yeah, let's.
made a post just about that
Yeah.
not too long ago, where I said, okay, or Ali,
All right,
but
brother. Nice meeting you.
yeah, I made a post not too long ago and said, what do you do? How would you help a brother that says he doesn't want to be out there in the streets? And a lot of them said, well, you can't help them, or that's what their choice is. But very few said to actually help.
I remember
Okay.
that post.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sister, just to to go a little further, let me give y'all some game. Most of the kids who die in the streets, which ones you think that be? That be the ones that don't belong there, that really don't want to be there. So they unaware, they game goofy, they be lacking, You don't belong there. You don't want to be there, but they be being there because ain't nobody telling them where else to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I
We let these schools and these electronic devices raise the kids for us. Why you think they gonna be?
Mm-hmm.
You got kids growing up in the Houston area. You grew up in goddamn Atascocita hollering you gangster, sir. Won't you go sit down, bro? You don't belong out here.
That is true.
Me and Jay Black, who do we try to run out there with LeBron and them? No. You don't belong out here. Go do something else, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them be the ones that end up losing their life.
all
Going
the
to
time.
jail for 100 years. And you know you will go kill somebody. And how I know you don't mean that. Soon as them people grab you, you crying, asking for your mama, man. You
Yeah.
didn't mean that. That's not who you are. But they never presented the opportunity to not to choose something different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I give you choices and you choose that, I got to live with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I've been raised by nothing but people who live in the underworld, why you expect me to be college bound?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Um, don't
Everybody on the panel made very valid points,
Yeah.
and I appreciate the feedback. Brother Star, I said your name properly.
Yes, ma'am. Look at
You
you.
have to, you have to
Mhm.
understand me and my platform and who I am. So, being that I was raised in a West Indian household, I switch accents like on and off, and I'm going
Right.
to back up your name, and you're gonna look at me like that's not my name.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's all right.
So
It's all
I'm
right.
just I'm just letting you know, like some things I chop up in syllables, and it's not
Yeah.
done intentionally. So they
Yeah,
know me.
it's all right. You
They know
still
me.
my
So
sister. I ain't gonna
yeah.
take it no way.
So it wasn't in no disrespectful way. I wanted to make sure that I had your name down pat because I'm gonna say your name totally different from what how it's pronounced. So
All
yeah.
right. So if I can give you grace on that, you gotta give me some grace and let me troll you about it.
Everybody does. It's okay. Everybody tells me about. I'm used to it. Okay, I'm used to it. Naseba, she teases me all the time. She say
Yeah.
tomato and what you say veggies. I say vegetables. I don't know how to say that
Yeah, she
nonsense.
says vegetables instead of vegetables.
Vegetables. That's how I say. Okay, tomatoes. Okay, like
Yeah,
everybody's
Yes.
used to me. So you're not used to me. So I'm gonna jack your name up. So I have to hear it a couple of times.
it's all good, sis. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you too, and I hope you come back to see us for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I really like your
Undoubtedly,
conversation. I really do.
undoubtedly.
William, you good?
Hmm?
He said, "Hmm?"
It looked like you're thinking over there. Is there any thoughts that you want to share?
And Cubden kicked in, man.
Don't
Yeah.
tell that. Don't tell people that don't laugh. They don't need to know. I gotta remain my public figure. They know me as the King reading the gospel soul. I won't remain that way. They don't need to know
You
that.
said all right, man.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Oh
I'm
goodness. So,
but no,
so
but no, I do. Do you did you want me to share about the thing now, or you want me
yeah,
to?
yeah. Go ahead.
So and I'll have it posted in the comments. But this is my so I haven't done a live concert in a while here in Houston. So I'm doing uh first residency here at Taylor's of Houston on May
Wait a
3rd.
minute, nah.
Huh?
Oh, Taylor's.
I say, wait a minute, nah, not a residency. Okay.
Yes, I'm doing the first residency that Taylor's ever had here in Houston. At a live in concert, where I'll be doing original music and I'll be paying tribute to James Brown, Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, Sam Cooke, and Bob Marley. And then it's at 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Tickets are on sale right now. at Ticketlocity. So I need everybody to go support. Y'all come out, bring somebody with you. Tickets general admission pre-sale is at 25. For vendors that want to vend, they got it's 50. For VIP sections that seat 6 people without bottle is 150, and I think the VIP sections with bottle is 250. It seats 6 people, so you can bring 6 people with you. The seat in those sections. And yeah, that's about it. I have the link posted in the comments for those that want to come and support. But this will be my first live concert in Houston in a couple of years. I've done all my live concerts out of state and on tours, so I'm bringing it back here for the first time in a while. So I would love for all the people to come and pack out the place. So,
Sounds
Okay.
uh,
good.
Yeah,
so
I
yeah,
really have to hear that Bob Marley. But he's a hell of an entertainer because I've seen him perform. So that boy can sing.
maybe you know what. Matter of fact, since I'm promoting, you know what, I'm gonna sing a song just so y'all
Go
can see.
ahead, go ahead, go
The
ahead.
smoke be down. That nigga, he probably can't even sing. Well, I'm gonna. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, you know, if
song
Lady Hell
I
was
think.
on here, you know, that's the first thing she gonna say about you.
Let's see what I'm gonna do. Lord, if I find favor in your sight, Lord, please hear my heart's cry. I'm desperately waiting to be where you are. Cross the hardest desert, travel near or far. Wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. So that's just a little
All
taste.
right.
You on YouTube, brother?
I'm on everything. All my music is on all distribution platforms. I'm getting tongue tied. Um, and don't talk about the drink. Uh,
I was thinking that. I was thinking that. I ain't say it
uh,
though.
it's the musical evolution. That's my newest album. That the record
Okay,
label just released. It's called Music
okay,
Evolution. William P. Campbell. So you can find that on YouTube and everywhere.
got you.
Now y'all want to hear me sing now?
Come
No,
on.
Go
no,
ahead.
thank you.
Okay,
Not how you said no, thank you.
so we're gonna go ahead and close off now.
Hey, Kathy.
Oh yeah, she is on here. uh,
Thank you, Kay.
Kay say congratulations. Okay, so
Now
anything
y'all
else?
saying congratulations and giving the okay. Y'all better be in the building. I'm gonna troll you.
Okay,
Mhm.
so anybody have any type of any closing remarks?
Good show,
Co-host,
y'all.
co-host.
No, no, no.
Yeah, come on, Nokia, Nokia, come on, Nokia.
I just want to just wrap it up
No,
and
yeah.
just say,
It's bedtime.
Oh damn. Okay, so
I
anybody else?
saw that because she was having malfunctions and technical difficulties
I
in the
know it.
beginning, and she was
That
delayed.
damn cricket service. Okay, anybody else?
On Boost Mobile.
Okay, so uh I appreciate you all for coming on and thank you for joining. This has been another episode of I Thought We Want to Change, where we just don't talk about change. We challenge what's standing in the way of it. So stay real, stay aware, and most of all, stay accountable. Peace.